This is a Swede Speaks.
It is time to talk about this week in Sweden. So, let's get started with that. On Good Friday, March 30th, 2018, Martina Broström, a Swedish employee at the United Nations, accused the UN Assistant Secretary General, Dr. Louis Lores, of assault. She claimed that Dr. Lores grabbed her in a hotel elevator, forcibly kissed her, and tried to drag her to his room during a conference in 2015. Louis Lores denies the accusations, and he left the UN when his contract ended last week. According to the United Nations, he left by his own decision. Martina Broström is a policy advisor at UNAIDS, the United Nations Global AIDS Program, and she is one of 3 women to describe similar encounters with Lores. Åsa Linderborg, chief cultural editor of the mainstream media outlet Aftonbladet, was interviewed by the Swedish internet periodical Kvartal. In that interview, she said the Swedish cultural trade is not scrutinized, although much of that trade is paid for by taxpayer money. Among other things, she said that men who called themselves feminists could get away with chauvinist behavior towards women, and she also said that women are perpetrators against men. She stated that she had witnessed female bosses in the trade acting inappropriate towards male subordinates. She also claimed that the Me Too movement diminishes women and makes women irresponsible about their own lives and decisions, adding that she was displeased with herself for participating in the Me Too fall last year. In the neighborhood of Högsbo in Gothenburg, on March 9th, 2018, Eddie Svensson was found dead in his apartment in Högsbo. The police have yet to find the murderer. In an interview with the Swedish mainstream media outlet Expressen, 31-year-old Sara explained that she was worried and that she had armed herself in her home. She said that she has a baseball bat, an assault alarm, and self-defense spray by her bed. It is very difficult for ordinary people to get a gun license in Sweden. On Holy Saturday, March 31st, Stockholm County Councillor Irene Svenonius, representing the pseudo-conservative Moderate Coalition Party, said that she and her party wants to equip ambulance personnel with bulletproof vests. Carl Sylvander, safety representative at the Swedish Association of Health Professionals, a trade union, responded that he opposes the moderate proposition. In a debate article in the mainstream media outlet Dagens Nyheter, Isabella Lövin, who is Green Party spokesperson and Sweden's Minister for International Development Cooperation, wrote that the government-owned company Swedavia, which owns and runs the country's airports, should be given the task to work for less flying. Lövin compared her proposition on Swedavia's future task with that of Systembolaget, the government-owned monopoly liquor store chain in Sweden which both sells alcohol and informs about the harm of alcohol at the same time. Margot Wallström, Sweden's Minister for Foreign Affairs and a Social Democrat, demanded in a debate article in Aftonbladet that Ulf Kristersson, leader of the Moderate Coalition Party, explains how he will relate to the Sweden Democrats. Basically, if he wants to cooperate with the Sweden Democrats to gain political power. The Swedish general election will be held on September 9th, 2018. It was reported that during a recent visit to Hungary, Gustav Fridolin, one of the 2 spokespersons of the Green Party and Sweden's Minister for Education, claimed during an interview with Hungarian media that there are no no-go zones in Sweden. In Skelleftehamn, in the province of Västerbotten, in the northeast of Sweden, during Saturday morning, 3 persons broke into a house. In the house, the perpetrators took some goods, and when one of the family members in the house tried to follow them, he was attacked by them with a stun gun. Saturday evening, one of the perpetrators had been arrested. The arrested one, is a man aged about 25 years and known by the police. On Easter, April 1st, Sweden introduced a new aviation tax that will add an extra charge to all passenger flights from Sweden. On April 3rd, Jakob Pedersen, analyst at the Danish bank Swedbank, said that the new Swedish tax could benefit air traffic in Denmark. In the neighborhood of Johanneshov in Stockholm, during a soccer game on Sunday, it was reported that a woman was raped in a toilet. The woman was brought to hospital and the suspected perpetrator was on the loose during Sunday. On Easter Monday, April 2nd, in the neighborhood of Vasastan in Stockholm, at 3 p.m. a woman was attacked in a gate. A man tried to hold her, but she was able to get away. The police is now looking for a man in his 30s who speaks poor English. Jimmy Åkesson, leader of the Sweden Democrats, said in an interview that if the Social Democrats stopped working with the Green Party, he would be interested in working with the Social Democrats. It was reported that a woman was prosecuted with hate speech. Last spring, she commented in a Facebook group on a gang rape, and she asked why the perpetrators, whom she referred to as bastards, why they were still in Sweden. She also asked whether there would be two different sets of laws in Sweden, one for Swedes and one for those who have the Quran as their holy book. She was reported by a private person and she is now prosecuted. Hate speech can give up to 2 years in prison in Sweden. On Tuesday, April 3rd, in Vänersborg, in the province of Östergötland, in the west of Sweden. In September last year, Green Party politician Abdullahi Hassan Mualin was prosecuted after his business for newly arrived refugees went bankrupt. Neither the bookkeeping nor 25 newly bought computers could be found after a bankruptcy. On Tuesday, it was reported that Mualim decided to leave his municipal political commissions, stating that nobody trusts him anymore. On Wednesday, April 4th, Dagens Nyheter, a Swedish mainstream media outlet, launched their gender robot to check the text published by the newspaper's employees. The gender robot checks how many times the different employees mention women and men in their texts. Ulf Adelsohn, who was leader for the moderate coalition party in 1981 until 1986, and his wife, Lena Adelsohn Liljeroth, who was Minister for Culture and Sport from 2006 until 2014, both called for Ulf Kristersson, leader of said party, to invite the Sweden Democrats to the negotiation table. It was reported that the British Prime Minister Theresa May is expected to meet with the Swedish Prime Minister Stefan Löfven in Stockholm on Monday, April 9th, and with the Danish Prime Minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen in Copenhagen on the same day. On Thursday, April 5th, in a poll conducted by the pollster Demoskop, the Social Democrats had 25.9% of the support, which is the worst numbers in a poll since December 2016. In Robertsfors, in the province of Västerbotten, in the northeast of Sweden, during Thursday evening, police was called several times about physical abuse going on in a residence in Robertsfors. When police arrived, after 35 minutes, several people were there holding the man. The assault was reported 5:18 p.m. and the man was under control 5:20 p.m. The man was arrested and is suspected of severe physical abuse. The suspect allegedly had a relationship with the victim. And on Friday, April 6th, Katarina Janouch, Swedish author of Czech background and a critic of what is going on in Sweden, declared that she is a candidate to the Swedish parliament in the general election in the fall of this year. She runs as an independent, but she is on the ballot list for the Liberal Conservative Party Citizens Coalition. During Friday, 3 members of the Swedish Academy left the Academy. The Swedish Academy is the institution which makes the annual decision on who will be the laureate for the Nobel Prize in Literature. The 3 members who left are Claes Östergren, Kjell Espmark and Peter Englund. Before these 3 members left the Academy, there was a conflict about Academy member Katarina Frostenson and her membership. There was an election in the Academy on the exclusion of Frostenson. Frostenson was not excluded. Katarina Frostenson is married to cultural personality Jean-Claude Arnault, who was accused by several women of sexual harassment. Since Frostenson's days, Östergren, Espmark and Englund leaves active work for the Academy. 2 other members, Lotta Lotas and Kerstin Ekman, are also inactive in the Academy's work, respectively since 2015 and 1989. Richard Jomshof, member of Sweden's parliament for the Sweden Democrats, said in an interview that he is tired of the political game and the media, but not of the party's members and of the Sweden Democrats. He also said that the spread of Islam is an issue that he worries more and more about. Jomshof said that he fears Islam and that Western Europe might go under as a result of Islamization. Quote, I do not despise all Muslims, but I loathe Islam. Muhammad was a terrible human being. Close quote. That's what Richard Jomshof said. And those were some of the stories that came out of Sweden during this week in Sweden, from Good Friday to Friday. As you probably understand, I had to pick and choose from many stories. To report on all of them would simply be too much. So here was my pick. And that's all I have to say about that right now. I would like to thank everyone who supports my work. And if you like what I do, if you think what I do is important, please consider sending me $1 or $2 or 10 or 100. That's always greatly appreciated. Also, make sure to follow my live stream on Saturday, April 7th, of course, sorry, April 7th, 2018, at 1 p.m. Pacific Time, 2 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Western European Time, 10 p.m. Central European Time, 11 p.m. Eastern European Time, and midnight further Eastern European Time. Until next time, have a nice day, and God bless.